What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to part 2 of what to expect when you're expecting. That's something else. But yeah, this is part 2 of what to expect from the various different tiers of the different nations as you progress through your War Thunder career. In the last and the first episode of this series, we looked at the Americans. Obviously not the P400, but the three P shooters, and now it's on to the Germans. As you can see, you have three versions of the HE51, the C1, the A1, and the B1. All three of them are Tier 1, battle rating of 1.0. There are some minor differences. I mean, turn times, you can see 14.2 on the C1, 13.1 on the A1, 14.3 on the B1. But they, pretty much the same. All three of them are armed with two 7.92mm MG17 machine guns with 1,000 rounds of ammunition. These are fairly fast firing guns, so they should be good for low tier matches. Unfortunately, there's no 50 caliber size machine guns amongst these guys, so you might need to spend a little bit more time on target, but doesn't really matter. Tier 1 is all about the fun. So we are going to jump into a battle now, and we'll see how these guys get along. And I'll see you in the skies. Alright, so here we are in a game. Took a little bit of time to try and decide what ammo belt to use. I normally run stealth, but these ammo belts have an awful lot of armor-piercing rounds in the stealth belt. Which seems a bit weird to me. Going up against biplanes, armor piercing doesn't really seem to be the kind of round you want. But anyway, so we're moving into the combat area, and we've got a BF-110, quite a dangerous aircraft in terms of its firepower. So we're going to put some rounds in. Looks like we had an engine. Get some more shots into his fuselage, but nothing else critical. I'm going to dive in on him again, but no, we've got this guy who's coming head on. We'll take some shots anyway and pull out of his way before we crash into each other, and let's take another hit on, and there we go, we got a kill. Brilliant, there's our first kill of the match. And this guy's coming back for another hit on, but we'll just roll out of his way and turn back to engage him. And this thing is actually quite maneuverable. Yeah, it's quite good fun, and we'll switch targets here. This guy looks to be a bit easier, and the machine guns, as you can hear, they pretty decent rate of fire, which is always good to get a good amount of lead down range. We'll get some more shots into him, but with any small caliber, whoa, nearly hit that guy. That would have been our fault too. With any small caliber round, it takes a fair bit of ammo to actually do something. And you could get lucky, get a pilot sniper, or set them on fire really easily, but with the exception of those lucky shots, you're likely to need to put quite a few rounds into them. Now we're just going to actually pull out of this area. It's a bit crowded, and arcade and Tier 1 reserves is Tier 1 reserves. Someone's going to crash into someone just now, and then they're going to rage. So we'll just bug out of there, and it's, well, no thank you. Pull it up, loop over, and see if we can fall back down on his tail. Get some good shots in, or some, not good shots, but get some shots into him. Some more rounds out, but I don't think we hit him that time, and now he's given up. Which is something that I've noticed a lot of new players do. They get in a turning fight with someone, they decide they can't win, and thank you very much for crashing into my victim. They decide they can't win, so they pull out, like, they've decided that the fight is over, so the fight is over. Firing a bit wildly here. Obviously, it's been quite a long time since I've played these planes, so all guns are different. They normally take a bit of time to readjust to. And I'm getting hit by someone. There we go, got that kill, knocked the pilot out. Turn in on this P26. Now he's got the 50 cal machine gun, so we got to be careful because we know firsthand how well that can shred little biplanes like us. And yeah, not giving quite enough lead there. And for any new players, just take that. There we go, got the pilot, but take that as an example of how inaccurate that lead indicator is. It's really just a vague suggestion. But there we go, we got final blow. Let's have a quick look at the results. It's quite a short round. So we'll probably hop into another. So we got 3 kills. You know, what can you do? It's not brilliant, but still first place for the team, which is good enough for me. So ground force rescue ×2, professional ×2, shadow strike ×2, wind streak ×2, final blow, terror of the skies, and bulletproof. So let's hop into another round. Alright, so we are back for game number 2. Just having a quick look around at all of my teammates. Hey, Auto Squad buddy, Colonel Crouton. I like that name. He looks like he's having some fun with his plane. So, just climbing up a little bit. Not entirely sure why. This is not a realistic battle, nor is this a higher tier aircraft. But a little bit of extra altitude can't really hurt. So we've got this HE-51. It's coming straight at us. We're going straight at him. So an I-15 just next to him. And he's diving down. He's decided against it, which is fine. I think we're going to pull out of that. Nimrod. Damage his engine. Break out of that one. And a bit of lag, a little bit of packet loss. So, got some hits on him. Got some more hits, got his engines. A nice little dogfight going on here. Rolled the plane over and I killed someone. HE-51C. That must have been the first guy. And, well, what's... oh. BF-110, I told you they were dangerous. And there you go. Target fixation, tunnel vision. But, you know, we're just here to have a little bit of fun, so it doesn't really matter. Hopefully you guys won't crucify me too much for being shot down. Shit happens. So we got 1 kill. Pretty much everyone only seems to have 1 kill at the moment. So we're going to dive down. We're not going to bother to try and get any altitude right now. We've got, here's that BF-110. He's just going to, he's a bullet sponge to these 7 point, whatever they are, 7.92s or whatever. So we'll put some rounds into this HE-51, a little bit more for packet loss. Could have cost us our lives there. And we're going to get him, no. And we got the assist. So we are going to probably turn around and see if maybe we can get shots on this Nimrod. Yeah, there we go. Nothing too serious yet. Actually, I'm quite, there we go, pilot sniped. I'm quite looking forward to trying out the British reserves. See if they are good or any kind of fun. Obviously that was, as I said, that's the nation I started with, so it'll be cool to see what it's like going back to them, because I don't think I have since I played them for the very first time. And I've gone back to some of the other nations from time to time, but I don't think I've ever gone back to the British. So we're getting some shots into this guy. He's pulling some moves. He's gone vertical, looping over, allowing us to get some good shots into him. And we'll be back on his tail. We're going to pull out of that before we either overshoot or ram into him, neither of which would be a good thing. And we've got him now, I think, and we just reloaded. Damage his left wing, and there we go. That is kill number 3. It looks like the round is almost over again. That looks like an HE-51 sitting on the floor, which obviously means everyone's going to go for it. Here the G50. I don't think we're going to catch him. I don't see anything else of interest. Oh, we got some guys going vertical, always a good thing. That Ocean 2 or whatever it's called, that would have also been a bit of a bullet sponge, so glad he's down. And going in here is probably quite stupid. There's a lot. Oh, God. We both tried to pull out the head on by pulling up. That was incredibly stupid. But worth a good laugh. So now we're in our third and final one, and I doubt we're going to get to do anything. The round's pretty much over. And again, 3 kills, however this time we did die twice. But look at that, 15,000 Lion Battle Trophy. Hooray! So let's go and have a look at these results before we wrap up. I'll look at the German reserves. So again, first place for the team, 18,000 Lions in total, 15,000 of that from a trophy. We got Ground Force Rescuer, Professional times 2, Shadow Streak times 2, Wind Streak times 3, and then our 15,000 Battle Trophy. Alright, so final thoughts on the German reserve planes. They're pretty good fun. They're quite maneuverable. Certainly, I'd say a bit more maneuverable than their 13.1 second turn time on the stat card suggests. The 2 machine guns, pretty decent rate of fire. However, the belts are a little bit weird. Default belts, you got armor piercing, ball, armor piercing, incendiary, and then adjustment incendiary. The universal, which is what I was using, has got armor piercing traces, armor piercing incendiary. This is probably the best. I don't know, probably the best one to go for stealth. As you can see, it's just you got 1 round of adjustment incendiary, then 3 rounds of armor piercing, and then another adjustment incendiary. This, I don't know, seems a bit weird for tier 1. I don't know really if that's what an armor piercing round is going to do to other biplanes, but yeah, they're pretty good fun. For the proper tier 1s, we'll add in these G50s, MC200s. You see I haven't done those, maybe I'll research those before we get to that video. And again, these guys, when I first did Germany, sped my way through tier 1, as I'm sure a lot of people do. And this one could be quite good to have, 2 20mm cannons and 2 machine guns. 1 20mm on this thing. I wonder how that's going to be. But yeah, so that's the rest of tier 1, which we'll eventually come back to for the next video. In this series, we will be looking at Russia and their reserve planes, which are the R-15s. These 3, God, go away. So those should be pretty good fun to use. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And I will see you guys next time. This is Predator 458, signing off.